Good morning, everybody. It's Tas here. Welcome to the July 9th, 2021 morning update video. Today, as always, we're going to break down the futures, my thoughts on the market, stocks I'm looking at this morning, and overall what my game plan is for today. And by the way, I'm actually uploading this onto YouTube so you guys can get a glimpse into what we do here on Patreon every single morning. And if you guys want to check out the Patreon, that's linked right down below. And let's get right into the video. So look, as of now, we have about an hour left in this pre-market session. It's 8:30 a.m. right now on the East Coast. The VIX is down 9%, so we are seeing volatility dying down this morning, and we're thus seeing the futures market doing pretty well. The Dow futures are up 265 points, up 0.8%. The NASDAQ 100 futures are up about 0.1%. Nothing crazy there, but still they're up about 10 points. The S&P futures, they're up a lot better, or a lot more than the NASDAQ 100 futures. S&P futures up 0.5%, up over 20 points. And let's see what the precious metals are doing. Okay, silver's up 0.4%, gold's up 0.2%. So this is a perfect storm for the bulls, at least as of now. We have all the futures up, Dow, S&P, NASDAQ, gold, silver. The VIX is down. And if we look at SPY here, take a look at what's going on. This is so important for the bulls. Notice how yesterday, and we talked about this on YouTube, notice how we failed breaking out of the low point from the prior day, which was on, what day was that? Wednesday. I'm losing track of the days here, guys. Notice how on Wednesday, our low point was 432. And yesterday, Thursday, we rallied. We tried breaking 432, but we failed, and we ended up dumping into the market close, right? And that was not the best look for the bulls. But now, Friday morning, with an hour left in the pre-market session, we ran right through 432. We're seeing a bullish cross. Excuse me, guys. The 50 SMA crossing above the 180 SMA here on the 5-day, 5-minute, and it's looking very good. We broke out of that 432 level. So at this point in time, the bulls are looking like they're gaining a full head of steam, and to be honest, the trend is continuing, with the next big resistance being 434, right by that all-time high that we hit 2 days ago on Thursday at 434.76. to be exact. And if I pull up this 4-hour chart, you guys can see we're trading above both moving averages, the 180 and the 50 SMA, and it's very evident, it's very clear that SPY is on its way to all-time highs again. And when it comes to QQQ, let's see what's going on there. QQQ, it's looking very similar. You know, we're holding the uptrend on the 4-hour chart. We're trading above both moving averages. We held above the 50 SMA yesterday at a higher low. Today we're moving up a little bit higher. So let's see if we are breaking above that low point from, excuse me, guys, that low point from Thursday. Let's take a look. So we're right at it. We're right at it. So for this morning, we need to see if QQQ breaks out of 359, 360. That was the low point from Wednesday, right? Did I say Thursday? I meant Wednesday. That's the low point from Wednesday, and we failed there yesterday on the rally. We ended up closing on a downswing. So now if we break 359, 360, I'm going to put my alert at 360 right now. If this level is able to break, yeah, watch out for that move to 362.75, which is that all-time high here on QQQ. And by the looks of it, guys, let me show you this. This kind of looks like an ascending triangle forming in the pre-market today. So watch for that rip out, maybe today, maybe at some point next week, or maybe later on today. I think that's very possible. So those are some quick thoughts on the markets here, guys. And am I necessarily saying that the sell-off's completely over in terms of these different variants? Japan, claiming a state of emergency. It's not necessarily over, but the technicals right now are pointing to more upside, at least on SPY and especially QQQ here if we break 360. So, yeah, these variants could come back and bite us in the butt couple weeks down the line, especially if cases start spiking in the U.S. We get some shutdowns here, but I don't think that's going to happen, quite honestly. I feel like here in North America, we're better off. More people are vaccinated compared to Japan, which is what I was reading. So, yeah, I think we're better off here. But then again, you have to be prepared for the worst. And when it comes down to me, what I'm doing today, it's Friday. Typically on Fridays, I don't really rush into things. I play it more safe. But I did open 2 positions recently. One of them was Occidental Petroleum, which is an oil stock. I bought this at about $29.50 or something like that. You guys can go back and see the buy alert. It was in the 29. Actually, no, it might have been 29.45 or something like that. And now we're doing quite well. This is exactly what I wanted to see for this stock when I started buying it, as a swing trade here. Now we're trading above $30, so I'm already up about a couple percentage points, maybe 2 percentage points. And who knows, maybe I do trim that position today. Maybe I lock it in. But then again, as long as it holds trend, which as of now it is, on the 4-hour, it's holding a higher low, I feel like I might hold this through the weekend. Especially if it holds this trend, starts pushing up into the mid 30, higher 30 level. And by 30, I don't mean 35. I mean $30.50. Maybe $31. I'm going to be holding on to that. So I like Occidental Petroleum, especially as crude oil looks to be maintaining the uptrend on the 4-hour. We held the 180 SMA here. Now we're about to test the 50. If we break above $74 on crude oil, I think this is going to break out completely. And 74 was resistance a couple weeks ago. It's right by the 50 moving average here. So watch out for a break into 74. And I also opened up a position in Baba yesterday at 199.85 roughly, and now we're at 203. So we're moving up on Baba. This is more of a midterm swing for me. We're not quite yet out of the woods on Baba. We're still clearly downtrending on the 5-day 5-minute, but I think the big move will come once we break out of this 5-day 5-minute. And considering it's oversold on the 4-hour chart, very oversold at that, I feel like we're going to see some sort of snapback. And what we notice with Alibaba is every time it's hit a lower low. Sure, it's stayed there a little bit, but it's snapped back. And that's with a lot of stocks, most stocks out there. If you catch them at a oversold spot, once they've been beaten down for days on days on days on end, like this has been, we do see relief rallies. And that's kind of my goal here on Baba. I'd love to catch this on the relief rally. I mean, I'm already in it at 199.85 roughly. And we're getting that move upwards slowly but surely. So some other stocks I'm looking at here. AMD is moving up pre-market. It's up about 60 cents. We're holding 89, 90 bucks, which is a key spot. And now we're trying to move above the 50 moving average here on the 4-hour, and 89 was resistance back in the end of April. So the fact that we're holding above this, we're fighting above the 50 moving average here on the 4-hour chart, that's a good sign that AMD wants to fill the gap to about $95 per share, which gives it about 4, 5, 6% upside from where we are now. And full disclosure, I'm long AMD. I mean, I own this stock. I've owned it for months at this point at $77 and roughly 60 cents. So I'm already up about 18% on my position, and I don't plan on selling it. Like I've been on record saying, I think AMD is a $100 plus stock, and I'm sticking to that. Sure, if it gets ridiculously overextended, if it gets to 120, in 2 months from now or something, maybe I'd consider selling a little bit. But until then, I'm holding on tight, and this is more of a longer-term play for me. GM is another one I'm looking at, General Motors. This one's holding the uptrend here on the 4-hour. You guys can see pre-market today. There's got to be a catalyst behind this. There's a massive pop here. GM stocks jump after Wedbush analyst calls it a disruptive technology play. Interesting. And it looks like they initiated an outperform rating yesterday with an $85 price target. And okay, I guess they're getting in, obviously, the electric vehicle game, as most car companies are these days, so maybe there is a little disruptive technology there. Hey, who knows, guys, right? And that's moving the stock up. That's what's important, because us as traders, we're long-term investors as well, but looking at GM from a trading perspective, we like seeing catalysts like that move the stock up, so then we could take advantage of that move. And we can see clearly it's holding the uptrend. It's within the uptrending channel here, but one thing worth noting is on the 20-day chart, and you could probably see it on the 4-hour chart if I zoom in a bit, we're still in a downtrend. We're still under the moving averages. We're still seeing a death cross, the 50s crossing under, rather, the 50s crossing under the 180 SMA. So I'd like to see GM break and clear above 60, and I'm going to be patient until it does that, because that is where it's going to break the downtrend, at least in the short term, the past couple of weeks, and that is where it's going to break the moving averages. And from there, I'm thinking we could continue the uptrend, the longer term uptrend up to the mid 60s, giving this thing about 8, 9, 10% upside from where it is right now. So I like GM. Tesla's another one moving up here. We called this one out on Patreon yesterday, and this one's moving up about $4 or $5 pre-market. But I mentioned to you guys in my post, look, 660, 655, 665, this $10 window, it's a sticking point on Tesla, considering that was support in April through the beginning of May, and it's also right by the 50 SMA here on the 4-hour chart. So we need to see a clear-cut break above 665 on Tesla for the bulls to get this thing back up to $700 potentially. And listen, I mean, look, you guys know I sold out at $697. I timed the top, which doesn't always happen, guys. And let's be honest, it takes some luck to time the top exactly. And I mentioned to you guys, I'd be looking to re-enter it in the low 600s. Now, did I re-enter? No. Do I regret it? Not really. I mean, not really, to be honest, because I'm not convinced quite yet that this is the breakout, because we're not above 665. And for me, I want to wait until we see that confirmation of the breakout. So until then, I'm sitting tight. I'm holding my cash. And even if it means I miss the move, it's okay. It's okay. So I'm watching Tesla. I'm going to put an alert at 665. Let me do that. Or maybe 660. Yeah, let's do 660 on that one. NVIDIA is another one I'm looking at as a very short-term trade. I'm not looking to swing this through the split. And I'll make a video on that in the next coming weeks, 1 or 2 weeks, talking about my plan with NVIDIA. But overall, this is a day trade or a very short-term swing. I'm talking 1-2 days, if that, maybe more of a day trade to get in and out of it, because we can see on the 20-day chart, we gapped down 2 days ago. That was a 5% down move. Now we're holding the 180 SMA at a higher low. We're consolidating. We're moving up even this morning pre-market. I want to see if NVIDIA could end up just seeing another high or a higher high move before the split, and especially if it takes out that 805 level, which was resistance on the 28th of June throughout the 1st of July before we ran up to 840. So I feel like if 805 could break in the very short term, guys, I'm thinking NVIDIA could fill the gap back to about 830, maybe 835, and that could give it about a 4% upside from here. But I've said this before, and I'll mention this in my video on NVIDIA. I feel like after the split, which is creeping up here, guys, in about 2 weeks, or less than 2 weeks, 11 days, I feel like after that split, we're going to sell off. And I'll talk more about that in my video whenever that comes out, so be in tune with that. Gnog is also moving this morning pre-market. It's up another 3-4%, which is awesome. And full disclosure, I'm long Gnog, and I checked my account, guys. I was wrong on my average cost. I mentioned yesterday my average cost was $11.70. It's actually $12.70 or $12.60. So I mixed that up a little bit, correcting myself here. So $12.60 is my average on this, pretty much right where we are now pre-market. And look, I'm not looking to add more to it now, but if it were to tank back down to 10, especially under 10, that is where I'm looking to add more to my position. But I'm very comfortable at $12. I think this is a very good value for this stock. And you have to realize when it comes to SPACs, and this one's post-SPAC, the closer it gets to $10, the better. Even under $10, even better, right? So at this point, we're up. We're still in the downtrend pre-market, but we're going to wait to see if we break the moving averages to see another high, or just a breakout of the downtrend. That's kind of what I'm waiting for here. And the last one for today before I send you guys off is Caterpillar. Caterpillar's up about $3 per share right now. Looks like we are double bottoming at about, what is this, 210, 209. And I'm thinking, look, if this takes out the downtrend that it's been in on the 5-day or probably the 10-day chart, you can see it. Yeah, 10-day chart. You guys can see from 222 to 209, we've been making lower lows, lower highs. If we break out of this and take out 220, 218 as well, boom. I think this is going to break out. The double bottom on the 4-hour will play out, the double bottom breakout, and we could be filling the gap up to 228, 230 right by the 180 SMA. If that were to break, maybe we start pushing mid-230s, low 230s. So I like Caterpillar here more as a longer-term swing, and I'll put my alert at 220 for Caterpillar. And overall, guys, look, that's it. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Those are some stocks I'm watching, my thoughts, some plans I'm looking to put into place today. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button. Make sure to drop a comment. And this is a Patreon exclusive. Again, I'm uploading this on YouTube. If you guys want to see videos like these every single trading morning, they're on Patreon, literally every single trading morning. And you got to sign up to the top tier. And of course, you get a lot of other perks, buys, sells, call outs. What I'm doing, I put a lot of exclusive content on there. So check it out. It's on Patreon, link down below, or you guys can go to stocksurfest.com/Patreon, and make sure to also get your $50 from M1 Finance. That's literally free money to you. I also get 50 because it is an affiliate link, and you guys can get your 2 stocks from Webull up to $1,600. All of those are linked down below. I'll catch you all in the next video. Good luck today. Happy Friday. Peace out, guys.